Welcome to the Redvee TV Show, supported by Chapel House Cars for the 2024 season. And on this week's episode, Kevin, there's a little bit of rumour and a little bit of news. I think we should get straight onto it.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
So, Kevin, do you like the little pun?
Oh, very good. Yes. I don't quite get Super League Plus as a pun, but yeah, go on.
The news broken today by a couple of journos. Tommy Makinson potentially being linked with a move to the Catalan Dragons for the 2025 season. Aaron Bauer tried to jump on the bandwagon on Matt Shaw's exclusive. We should have gone in on a third one. Yeah, we heard that as well. But Matt Shaw breaking the news. He's one of the trustworthy journos. He's not claiming a deal's been done, but he's claiming that Catalan Dragons are interested in Tommy Makinson for the 2025 season, obviously with Tom Davis off contract, and Tom Johnson strongly rumoured with a move to the Wakefield Trinity club next year, regardless of what division they're in. Tommy off contract at the end of 2024, 33 at the end of the year. Would I be shocked if it happened, Kev? No. But I think it's one that is very much up in the air and could definitely go either way.
Yeah. Unfortunately, there's only opinion on this, no searing insight into what Tommy might do and what's going to be offered here and there and whatever. It's one of those that I'm sure that Saints will have a chat with Tommy and see what his thoughts are, see what he wants, see what suits the club. Whether Tommy feels like he wants a new challenge for the latter end of his career or whether he wants to stay here. I know 2 weeks ago there was an interview saying that he still felt he had plenty of top flight rugby left in him. So that kind of points to him staying. But strange things happen in sport, don't they? That you come towards the end of your career, which unfortunately for Tommy is coming towards the end of his career, and an opportunity comes along that might just pique your interest and think, you know what, I could give that a go for a year or two, and see what the life's like out there. Obviously, there's loads of factors to put into that, whether that be family, whether it be just the logistics of it all. So, again, could I see it happening? Absolutely. Do I think it will happen? I tend to think, this will get clipped, but I tend to think possibly not.
I am very much 50-50 on it. Listen, you could argue that. Did he give the interview last week about he thinks he's got plenty left in him as a pointed point? Pointed point. Just to show, listen, he's obviously at the point of his career. He's probably got one deal left in him, worth a couple of years. Would he like that to be with Saints? Most likely. Would he be against moving to the south of France for a couple of years, playing in the sunshine to finish your career off and having a different culture? Potentially. I think whatever Tommy decides to do, listen, we talk about him being a legend of the club, one of our best ever wingers, one of our favourites ever players. By the time the year rolls round, he'll have made over 300 appearances for the club. I think he's earned the right to potentially decide what he wants to do. But equally, it's a financially driven sport as well. He'll start next season 33. If you're looking at a deal that's a couple of years long, you have to look at how he'll be as a winger at 35. And he's done some heavy graft for our team over the years. We waxed lyrical so many times over the 7 years what we've actually been doing Redvee TV about just what he offers the team. Do you potentially part ways because it suits both parties, allows Tommy to go and try a new culture, earn a big money spinning deal, and then it also allows Saints to potentially not have a situation where in a couple of years' time they've got multiple stars all retiring at the same time. Is it the chain that you need to do if you want to stay on top? You've got to bring fresh blood in at various times.
Yeah. I know you've got to make tough decisions, but I don't. I think it'd be one that suits. It's got to be a decision that suits the club and Tommy. And I think Tommy's probably in the driving seat when it comes to that. So I'm not sure if it's a decision that you just think, right, we're going to let Tommy go at all. I think it is more of the club will kind of know what the squad should look like already in 2025. They'll have an idea of at least the nucleus. Maybe one or two names might be different. And I don't know. I know you said you're 50-50. I'm probably more 60-40 in the thing of his staying. I'm not sure I'm quite comfortable with it just being we let him go and let him have a new experience. But also, I get where you're coming from when you say you don't want 2, 3, 4, 5 players all retiring at the same time, because that's harder to replace, isn't it?
Listen, I'm very much trying to play both sides here, devil's advocate. I think if Tommy was offered a massive deal over there and the club couldn't match it for whatever reason, fair play. It's a very short career and you've got to maximise your earnings, and especially if it comes to what is essentially a good club and a competing club. I don't want to see Tommy's career petering out at a club less than the level he deserves. Do I hope he stays? Yes, because when you look at the market out there, if Tommy was to go at the end of the year, what on earth do you replace him with? It does leave it'd leave a massive hole when we've already got questions about our other wing spot at this moment in time. To need potentially be looking at both sides worries me. Let's hope. Listen, let's hope that the words that have come out today are the parting or the starting gun of the contract negotiations. Is Tommy's agent just putting it out there that there are other big clubs wanting him and trying to maybe move Saints along a little bit? Who knows? Listen, this is all questions and not very many answers. And a lot of it is just us thinking aloud, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think like when you see, I know the May 1st kind of date is thrown about if that's when people can talk to players. Does that mean that he can't talk to an agent? What's the deal with Tom? Or he's going to sign on with Saints again. There's no point coming in with it for him. Or, well, what are you offering? Can you do that still?
If anybody really believes that no one speaks to a player before May the 1st, I've got some
magic
ice
beans
to sell you. Magic beans.
I've got magic beans.
I've got some ice to sell you, and I hope that you're an Eskimo. Yeah, we all know that deals are done so long in advance. Potentially, players already know where they're going to be next year. Clubs will also know. Who knows? What I would say is I can't imagine Tommy in a different jersey. I don't want to imagine him in a different jersey. And it's that pesky Sam Tompkins coming along trying to ruin us as usual. He can't do it on the pitch anymore, so he's now trying to steal our players.
Yeah, I think you're right. People would be naive to think that that players aren't even talking to players in other clubs. So the England internationals play for Catalan. So what's it like down there? Like, what's the schedule like? What's it like playing in front of them fans? How is it with you, like traveling back to England? Does it fatigue? Everything like that. So there will be chats being had here, there, and everywhere. This is just one of them that has kind of come to light almost. And who knows, in 12 months' time, or well, probably less than 12 months' time, we may well be saying, well, Tommy signed a new deal. with Saints, or listen, Tommy goes with our best wishes, because if that's how it is, that's how it is. He's one of the greatest, especially under the current rules. I will point that out because he can use the corner flag to his advantage. But he is one of the best in his work rate, all-round game that I have seen pull on the shirt anyway.
Yes. Listen, Jack Wellesby had signed for the NRL, apparently.
Yeah.
And look how that one turned out. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, Shane Webke was spotted on Elephant Lane how many times back in the day when Redvee's forums had first started? So
I would say Riquelme, the Argentinian footballer, got spotted at the West Derby Road cash machine so many times, but that might be a reference too far for some.
yeah.
Can I just say that me and Kevin both studied GCSE French? I'm assuming you did as well.
Nope, German.
In that case, I am more than able to come and work for Catalan TV. Bonjour, je m'appelle David. David? Oh,
Yeah, you've done terribly.
I'm sounding like a washed-up footballer who went to France and tried to talk in a French accent, so let's move swiftly on.
Yeah, let's move swiftly on from that.
Okay, Kev, the other news that has come out this week or announced is the arrival of Super League Plus. It is the streaming platform that has been promised for so long, with every game in 2024 to be televised. Costs have come out. $129.99 annually or $99.99 for club members. You could pay £20 a month, or if you just want to watch a one-off game, it will be $6.99 for an early bird or $9.99. If you live outside of the UK, you will be able to see every single Super League game live. If you are in the UK, it will be the 4 games that aren't on Sky as their 2 main games that week, with them to follow afterwards. There will be other content out of your league and various highlights and bits on there as well. I will point out, though, if you have a Sky Sports subscription, every game will be included in your Sky subscription. You'll have your 2 games that are normally on the TV, and if the games aren't on a normal channel, they'll be on the red button or app platform on Sky. So potentially, if you're buying this for the games, you won't need it if you have Sky. So don't be in a rush to jump straight in and pay for it, because you might be paying for something you don't particularly need. Kevin, will this be a success?
Well, this is where rugby league fans who are whinging about the price of this have got to either back up the fact that they think the game is the best in the world, or shut up with that old saying. Now, I understand that, listen, it's a game that we all love and that we follow, but I've seen people whinging that it's too much. I get that we're in a cost of living crisis, but the sport has got to make money. And seeing people say it's too much, when if you've got Sky already that shows rugby league, you're not going to need it, or you can just watch it on a game-by-game basis. So if you can't make it to who's not going to be on telly for Saints, like say when we played who away?
London away.
London away. You can pay your $6.99 and watch it if you're not up for the travel down there. Absolutely.
That's not per person either. If there's 5 people in your house, 6 people in your house, you can all watch the same telly.
Yeah.
I find it utterly bizarre that anybody thinks that is expensive. I think that's really cheap. When you look at the production costs of 6 games to broadcast with commentary and just everything that's involved in it, that's a ridiculous price. My concern is, and my biggest concern is, that this won't work on the basis that it's not financially viable for the clubs. I don't think it affects Saints' home crowds too much, because at the end of the day, out of say 28 games last season, potentially 20 odd on TV anyway. So there's not much change for a home fan.
Yeah.
And I know you've always advocated on this channel that clubs shouldn't be relying on away spectators for revenue.
Correct.
But if Saints are playing Hull KR on a Friday evening, and say I'm using Hull KR as an example, I could use any team, and they're on a really bad run of form, the mid-table, they're not competing for playoffs, they're coming to Saints and they're thinking they're going to get beat by 30, 40 points. What incentive have you got to travel when you can still see the game for $6.99 as a potentially a family? Will it affect away crowds traveling?
Yeah, probably. But then home clubs have got to be cleverer. You've got to be smarter. So if you allow your tickets to be on sale that little bit earlier, kind of know the numbers you're going to get, and can think, well, traditionally for club X, we get this amount. We've not quite sold them at the moment, so we're going to put them in this stand instead, and we're going to fill that away end with community clubs, with whether it be NHS, whether it be sponsors, whatever it is. Your home club has got to be smarter though. It's all down to the home club for a home game. Yes, in this country we have that kind of tradition of having the attendance from away fans in there and being able to have the chanting in between the two and taking the mick. And it's great when there's a little bunch of you, maybe 200, and you win the game and the whole stadium's quiet, but you're the ones absolutely going mental. I'm looking at like Hull away on a Monday night for that. But it's up to the home club to fill their stadium. It's not up to away fans to come. Yeah, it may well stop away fans travelling. As we say, London, if you can get it for $6.99, you're going to do that, aren't you? Hull KR Friday night, even Castleford Friday night, you're probably going to look at it and think, I've not got to risk the 62. So in that case, then, be cleverer. Home clubs, be cleverer. Sell your tickets and don't. You shouldn't be budgeting, as I say, for away fans anyway, but get your money out of your local community, whether that's giving tickets away and getting kids in so they're invested in it and then are with you for the next 20, 30, 40 years. That's kind of how you've got to try and build it.
Where I was thinking that the benefits of this could come along a line are in the betting markets, because every game is televised and they're going to ramp up the amount of stats available for every game. There should be a lot more betting markets available on every game because every game's televised. So previously, the only things you'd see in play action on would be the two televised Sky games. If that goes across the whole league, that could potentially turn into a bit of a money spinner. And I know we've sold the rights, the betting market rights for the next couple of years, but if this takes off, it could be a big money spinner for the sport, and it's potentially a little bit of the reason why they've gone this way, not just to cater for fans.
Yeah, it could well be, yeah. To get any revenue, I think we should always add on when we speak about betting that don't go chasing your losses, and when the fun stops, stop. But could be in the thinking, to be fair, mate.
Yeah. What I'd like to know is, first of all, if people think it's too much, how much they think would have been acceptable.
Yeah.
Because it seems people want everything for free. And my second question is, will the game still be available on VHS in the shop the week after?
Yeah, listen, we've seen that a couple of times, especially over the past couple of weeks, that people want it kind of how they want it, whether it's documentaries on DVD rather than on anything else. Yeah, people will have a moan either way. As far as the values go and how much it should be worth, the people saying that it's expensive maybe have just seen the headline of 129.99, not seen that you can do it monthly. So you have a look at it, and what is it? In the month of June, do we play a couple of away games? And you might think, well, that's worth it because the away games will be on for a month. Yeah.
I think some people wouldn't. I think some people wouldn't be happy if it was played in their back garden, and they probably moan that the grass was getting trampled.
Yeah, possibly so. But I think it's reasonable enough. I don't see an issue with it. And hopefully it is a success. And hopefully the clubs do make some money off the back of it, however that may be, whether it is increased home fans and they can push things like that, or well, however clubs can make money in this day and age, and whether that's 3, 4, 5 shirts a year, listen, they've got to do it.
Quite personally, if Huddersfield were playing Salford in my back garden, I would draw the curtains.
Fair enough.
Listen, it's not for me. I'm not going to subscribe. So I've got a Sky subscription. I'm lucky enough to have one. Aside from Saints and the really big games, am I really interested about being able to stream London versus Castleford, Salford versus Huddersfield?
That's
No.
okay, and that's fair enough. Yeah, that's fair enough.
That's for me. It'll be useful to be able to catch up on highlights and things, and we do have some die-hard rugby league fans that we know who will plan their entire weekend about watching every game, and completing it. Yeah, I can't think of anything worse. But Super League Plus, it is there if you want it.
Well sold right at the end. It's there if you want it, should be the tagline. Anyway.
Well, Catalan haven't signed us to a contract. So if Super League Plus would like us to present a show on there, they will have to up their subscription by at least 43p a month.
Yes, correct. That's it.
That's just to cover our production values.
Yes.
Right. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, because Redvee will forever be free. Catch you soon.